My name is Norma Rodriguez, and I'm the literacy coach at Liberty Elementary. The goal is to increase listening and speaking skills in the classroom. The outcome is for participants to take away strategies that can be implemented in any classroom immediately. According to the California ELA-ELD framework, it calls for the integration of reading, writing, and discourse. As students read and write, they are practicing their language skills in all content areas. Here is a chart that shows the commonalities of the practices in math, science, and ELA. In the center, you see the speaking opportunities for all three. As we think of reading, students are asked to read literature, informational text, and practice their foundational skills. For writing, there are 3 text types that they are to do. In language, they are practicing grammar, conventions, and vocabulary. And in order to understand and learn the speaking and listening standards, they are having conversations. About what? It's about the reading and writing. Also, in other content areas like math, SMP 3 calls for them to construct viable arguments and critique the other reasoning of others. They are to explain, reason, and justify their work. So let's look closely at the Common Core Standards, SL, speaking and listening. There are 6, SL 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I will be referring to some of the resources like the bookmarks that come from Tulare County, the anchor standards that show the end result of the standards when they graduate senior year, a collaborative conversation handbook, instructional routine handbook, R70 through 78, and an article called Clarifying Confusion. And this one talks about purposefully communicating. Not just talking to talk, there has to be a purpose to the talk that students are doing. So SL1, collaborative conversations. The anchor standard end of the year is for students to prepare for and participate effectively in a range of conversations and collaborations with diverse partners, building on others' ideas and expressing their own clearly and persuasively. Here is a video that also has some resources for you that I will refer back to in another slide. SL1, collaborative conversations, excuse me, for kinder, first, and second. So kindergartners need to learn to listen to others, take turns speaking, and continue a conversation through multiple exchanges. As you go up the grades, it gets a little bit harder. Listen to others with care, speaking one at a time, building on others' talk in conversations by responding to the comments of others through multiple exchanges, and ask questions to clear up any confusion under discussion. For second grade, they are to learn how to gain the floor in a respectful way. Also listen to others with care, speak one at a time, build on others' talk by linking their comments to the remarks of others, and ask for clarification and further explanation as needed about the topic. An idea to teach collaborative conversations and have discussions, we have Pilot Co-Pilot, which we'll be doing at one of the stations. Predictive partners are the 4 L's: look, lean, lower your voice, and listen. We have collaborative conversation sticks that I have 2 links here for you to use with your students. Also, you have in your curriculum of treasures different opportunities for students to speak. Talk about it, retell, listen for a purpose, resources that have activities that are on the McGraw-Hill Connect Ed page, retell the story, questions to think about, think, pair, share. All of those are embedded in treasures. SL2, main idea of the speaker. The anchor standard is for them to integrate and evaluate information presented in diverse media and formats, including visually, quantitatively, and orally. So kinder, first, and second, they need to learn how to confirm their understanding by asking and answering questions and to request clarification. First grade, as they are read aloud to and or presented orally through other media, they need to learn how to ask and answer questions. Second grade needs to learn to recount or describe key ideas or details, also from a text read aloud or information presented orally or through other media. Here, this slide has 4 links. So this is an article and 3 videos that will give you some other ideas to teach active listening of the main idea or speaker of the speaker. SL3, questioning speakers' reasons and evidence. Here is the anchor standard for a senior. Kinder, first and second grade. Student is to seek help, get information or clarification. First grade, ask and answer questions about what the speaker is saying in order to gather additional information or clarify something not understood. And then second grade adds the deepen understanding of a topic or issue. So ideas to teach: clarifying, agreeing, and disagreeing. Here are some sentence starters that you can use in your classroom, and here is a link to the conversation chips activity that you can use with your students. SL4, orally describe, tell, or report. Here is the anchor standard for seniors, being able to present their findings, supporting evidence, such that listeners can follow the line of reasoning. And the organization, development, and style are appropriate to task, purpose, and audience. So for kindergartners, we are asking them to describe familiar people, places, things, and events with prompting and support. So can they stand up in front of their peers and explain something? First grade, describe people, places, things, and events with relevant details, expressing ideas and feelings clearly. And then second graders, tell a story or recount an experience with appropriate facts and relevant descriptive details, speaking audibly in coherent sentences. Some ideas to teach this. Here is the second video that I referred you to at the beginning. This is through the McGraw-Hill Connect Ed, and this is the user and password that you would need in order to get these videos that you can directly show your students because it is modeled for them on how to give a good presentation. Also, they can use a microphone to stand in front and give a presentation, or use the tips here for speaking in public. SL5, visual and oral presentations. Here is the anchor standard for the seniors to be able to do presentations. For kinder, first and second, we're asking kindergartners to add drawings or other visuals to the descriptions to provide additional detail. First graders are doing the same, but this time they are adding to clarify ideas, thoughts, and feelings. And second grade is being asked to create audio recordings of stories, adding visuals to their displays, or recount experiences when appropriate. Some ideas to teach this are Chatterpix or Sock Puppets. These are 2 apps for an iPad or an iOS system. Screencastify is what I'm using right now as an extension through the Chrome web store. And here you can see that kids can take pictures and add video to it. Last but not least is our SL6, where they are needing to use complete sentences and use of formal English. So here is where we're asking students to speak audibly and express thoughts, feelings, and ideas clearly. First grade, produce complete sentences when appropriate to task and situations, and produce complete sentences when appropriate to task and situations in order to provide requested detail or clarification. So now here is an example of a game, Let's Talk game, where students would play it and they would land on a particular box based on the roll, the number of the die, and they would use the materials that they would be reading about. And these are the stations that we have in order for students or participants to practice. And these are the stations that we will be doing in a few minutes. Here's the evaluation, and I thank you very much.